The Beatles' explosive journey to international stardom began in Liverpool in 1962 and rapidly gained momentum across the UK by 1963. Their single From Me to You marked a major milestone, becoming their first official #1 hit. With the release of their debut album Please Please Me in March, the band quickly dominated the charts and laid the foundation for a worldwide phenomenon. By early 1964, Beatlemania was going global. While the band was performing in Paris that January, manager Brian Epstein delivered game-changing news. I Wanna Hold Your Hand had just claimed the #1 spot on the US Cashbox chart. Within days, it also topped the Billboard Hot 100, holding firm for an impressive 7 consecutive weeks starting February 1st. Riding this wave of success, Epstein and producer George Martin were determined to broaden the band's appeal. Since the Beatles had already found popularity in Germany, Odeon Records in Berlin suggested a bold move. Re-recording 2 of their biggest hits in German to maximize their reach in West Germany. Although the idea didn't thrill the band, who would have preferred to rest at their hotel, they eventually gave in and headed to Pate Marconi Studios in Paris on January 29, 1964. George Martin later recounted how the Beatles initially ignored the session, choosing to stay in bed. When he called their hotel, their road manager Neil Aspinall told him flatly that they weren't planning to show up. Frustrated, Martin rushed to their suite, only to find them casually lounging as if hosting an impromptu tea party. Though annoyed, he managed to get them moving, and the session was underway within minutes. That day, they recorded Calm, Gib mir deine Hand and Sie liebt dich, the German versions of I Want to Hold Your Hand and She Loves You. They also began early work on Can't Buy Me Love. Paul McCartney would later reflect on how hectic their schedule had been, juggling live performances with constant studio demands. The German recordings, he remembered, were squeezed in during their Paris stay, alongside early takes of his new song. Singing in another language was no easy task. Engineer Norman Smith recalled the challenges posed by the unfamiliar studio setup, which made the process even more exhausting. Everyone, including the Beatles, was relieved when the session wrapped up, so much so that they cancelled a backup session that had been scheduled just in case. Despite the hurdles, they pulled it off in a single day. When the German-language tracks were released in March 1964, Calm, Gib mir deine Hand shot to #1 on the West German charts, while Sie liebt dich climbed to #7. Though commercially successful, George Martin later questioned whether the recordings were truly necessary, as they ended up being the only non-English tracks the Beatles ever produced. A unique, but perhaps superfluous, footnote in their extraordinary legacy.